Good morning, friends and family, known and unknown, and a brand new wave spell. White Mirror. I've been looking forward to this one for reasons I am yet to discover. How are we doing? We are here, our own unique expressions of life. I could do something about my eyesight. But then I remember, was it Monet? Or who was it? Some famous painter who painted very beautiful landscapes and whose eyesight was just, I think he could see clearly like a millimeter in front of his eye. Something really. And then glasses or operation or something came about during his day, and it was suggested to him he do something about his eyesight. And he said, "Are you insane? I spent 40 years or a lifetime or whatever trying to get my focus to be what it is now so I can paint what I paint now. Why would I want to see the world clearly the way you do?" And I couldn't paint the way I do. I'm butchering this thing, but I love that reply. I was like, yeah, full appreciation of the way things are for us, first of all, and then the ability to change it. Anyway, how many wave spells have we gone together? I don't know. How many have I gone? We're here now. Wave spell 10 out of 20. So this is the last one in the first half of the spin. We are in this one moving into the 7th column of the Tzolk'in, the way it's represented, the way the 260 days are represented. The central column is 13 columns and 20 rows. And the central column is special. Why? I tell you why. Because it's special. 7. 7. Magical 7. The 7 has no... There's something about that. I have to research that to give it to you correctly. I always love it when I read it, but I don't commit it to memory. Anyway, let's start with the tune. For anyone who just appreciates the tune. Today I'm really going to start with the tune. No distraction. Not reading, nothing. Nothing. Go away. Here comes the tune. I want to read the archetype, the yogi, the yogin. I am the yogini, coded by the white mirror. 18 is my number. I dwell in state of undistracted meditation, beyond word, thought, and deed. Seated in my heart cave, I am the reflection of the endless dream. I hold the key to the mirror universe, the mirror dimensions, in brackets 8 to 13. We need to investigate that. Of the cosmic universe that mirrors this one. I am the meditation of empty bliss. The wall of my cave is my view into the universe. Supreme in my yogic powers, I exemplify self-transcendence into the noosphere. For I am the evolutionary forerunner, surrounded by the rainbow aura, product of my inner self-transmutation. I manifest signs of supernormal powers, only that the way be made clear for all beings. An orb to my own right glows in its own light, the result of pre-existing luminosity. Above my head appears the mandala of primordial self-perfection, a sign that we may all attain the way of infinite light. To know me is to know that practice alone brings knowledge and wisdom. Beautiful soul who drew these images. I recommend this app. I think these archetypes and these poems and all this, lots of information, pictures, images, and the Hunabku and the tune and all of that only comes with a paid version. And this app costs yearly about 17 euros. Well worth it. Here comes another quote. Through practice you acquire the discipline so that your spiritual nature becomes more evident. Magnetic mirror, I unify in order to reflect, attracting order. I seal the matrix of endlessness with a magnetic tone of purpose. I am guided by my own power doubled. Magnetic, unify, attracting purpose. Mirror, endless, reflect order. Need I say more? This sets the tone for 13 days, for the next 13 days. Reflecting the last, however long, reflecting anything and everything. I find myself this morning reflecting the serpent wave spell once again. And vital force. My attitudes towards myself, my judgments, and my limitations in terms of what am I. When I look into the mirror, I see what? The future, my past. I can place proverbially the mirror. I can place it in, if I place it right in front of me, I see myself more or less as I am now. Of course I can't, but I see some sort of physical reflection of myself, which goes through all my filters. So I can't say I see myself as I am, I see myself as I perceive myself, whatever. I'm thinking if I'm placing that mirror 5 years away from myself, 50 years away from myself, what am I reflecting? What am I seeing? And I don't need to see what will be, but I need to see for myself, I need to see the possibility. And above all, I need to see both the possibility for me then seeing something I like seeing, me then being something I like being. Electric dragon. No. Self-existing dragon in this wave spell. Tone 4, dragon. Red dragon. Being, birth, nurturing. Nurturer, births, being. Being, births, nurturance. Being, nurtures, birth. Birth, nurtures, being. Whichever way around. Tone 4, self-existing. Form, measure, define. with the yellow sun and tone 10 underneath that, planetary. And the other thing I need to allow in that mirror of the so-called future. I have a cat sleeping in front of me, but he is more than sleeping, he's really doing his healing work now. And the amazing thing, this is a little aside on this technique, is it takes these animals here, and they're pretty nervous animals. Say no more. We reflect each other. It's my father's home. I relate to my animal siblings in this house. We have been conditioned by my father's psychology. Anyway, love him dearly. And now they get used to this presence, that's this space of safety and presence. And after a couple of days, they kind of crave it. They come to me, they want it. And as soon as they're close to me, they take it. Not from me, but like we obviously have to give the focus to them. But this cat is doing some amazing stuff here. So happy to go into this space. A couple of days ago, couldn't touch him on the back, couldn't touch his stomach. Now he's like, and instead of yanking his teeth and claws into me when something triggers him, he just goes now like as if he wants to bite me. But he doesn't. It's just he's issuing a warning. And I respect that. It's great. Communication. It works. Oh. And now he's doing all of his healing twitches. So good. The nervous system resetting itself. Another thing I'm reflecting about the red serpent wave spell is the importance of the nervous system. Our nervous system really has a lot to do with how we perceive the world. It has a lot to do with the filters through which we perceive ourselves, our environment, our experience, and our surroundings and our world. Say no more. Okay, white mirror. Where were we? The future, the reflection of the future. Time. The mirror represents endlessness. Reflect order. Endlessness and time. Timelessness and end. Timelessness, white wizard. This connection between endlessness and timelessness. Endlessness refers to ends. Timelessness refers to time. And then timelessness. It evokes the polarity of both. The mirror is like a surface of some kind, a reflective surface. Mirrors are fascinating. What's behind the mirror? I mean, in our third dimensional world, we know that. We know what's behind the mirror. But if the entire third dimension is like the surface of a mirror, what's on the other side of that mirror? And it's a 360-degree mirror. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So to allow in the future possibility of change, of things to come into our experience that we don't know anything about, that we can't even imagine, we can't even envision, we can't even nothing, but to assume benevolence. To assume benevolence. Who knows where we're going? Who knows what experiences we're generating collectively, together, independently, individually, universally, galactically. Who knows, in 50 years we've got the technology where we'll be planet hopping. Probably not in some kind of metal cage, but maybe through bilocating or through some other means that I have no idea of knowing what it might be right now. And then I'm always on about aging. You can tell how old I am. If I were 20, I wouldn't be on about aging. But it's not about, it's like, how do we, like, really, what do we all want? I don't know, eternal life? My God, no. Conscious dying? Oh, yes. And I'm imagining if I build a version of myself, if I dream Blue Night in this wave spell is 6 rhythmic. And never mind. Then I build a new body. If I dream something that I can still envision as this body in this life, then it can happen. If I dream it can't happen, like if I imagine myself being 5 years old and learning to ski like my little nephew, then that is not likely to happen in this body because I can't imagine myself being 5 years again. But then I build a 5-year-old version of myself, or I reincarnate into myself at the age of 5 and learn. I would have to have different parents because this life, my parents had no access to skis or mountains or hills or snowy winters. We were in Africa then. Not likely I learned skiing over there. So, and I wouldn't trade my life for anything, but I would like to have learned to ski. And then again, it's a skill I don't really need, I guess. Yeah, endlessness, reflect, order. We are the musketeers that are joining us in this wave spell are the yellow star, the antipod, the wave spell of the yellow star. Incidentally, the wave spell of the yellow star is the very last wave spell. And it ends in the cosmic sun. I'm sorry, I'm biased. That's the last day of this entire spin, and it's the occult, the last day of this half of the spin, before we entering the wave spell of Blue Monkey. And it ends, this wave spell ends in the cosmic dog, love. So everything is important in a wave spell, yeah? But if we had to make a little teeny hierarchy or a teeny, like what are we going to focus on right now? What am I going to focus on is the 4 white seals, the time pulsar. The time pulsar consists of the magnetic mirror, the overtone wind. Wind is spirit, breath, communicate. Then the solar world bridger, death equalize opportunity. On the solar tone, pulse realize intention, pulse intention realize, pulse realize intention. And the cosmic dog, love, loyalty, heart. Love, loyalty, heart. Heart, love, loyalty. Okay. And that's the time pulsar. The truth. Okay, I don't want to go into analysis mode right now. Oh, you want to leave? Okay. Oops. Okay. Excuse me. Clearly for me, somehow these 4 wave spells take a precedence in my attention here. So the yellow star, elegance, beauty, art, is the antipod, is the furthest away, but we need it for stability and we need it for functioning. So order, endlessness, reflect, order, elegance, beauty, art. Creation or recognition? Creation or recognition? Creation or recognition? What am I thinking about? I don't know. What are these 2 words asking me? Creation or recognition? I ask myself that a lot. Am I creating my own artist self, my own, the art of my life, the art of my being, the art of my everything, anything? Or am I creating it? Or am I just recognizing it. It's the art of, I love this, what a lot of sculptors say when they look at a stone or a wood, and they say, the piece of art I'm about to create is already in there. Excuse me. There are not so very artful aspects of life. It's already in there. Just I recognize it, and then I take away what is blocking or what is hiding the sculpture. I like that image. Yellow star. Oh, harmony among each other, among ourselves. I always go on about that, and it just can't be gone on about. It cannot be gone on about enough. Is that correct English? I don't know. Is it that there are these, is it in the world of duality that if we have harmony, there needs to be disharmony somewhere just to keep the balances? Like yin and yang? Is disharmony a necessary part of harmony? Non-love as an opposite of love is not the same as hate. Unwanted is not the same as wanted versus unwanted is not the same as wanted versus, what would be the opposite word of if I don't want it? I really actively don't want it. If I don't want it, I just bypass it. I don't go to eBay and look at everything that I don't want. I search for what I want. I don't pay attention to what I don't, I mean, you know what I mean? Like, and yet when we sometimes do, like actively shunning something, actively avoiding. I've spoken about this in the last wave spell. And I've really done a lot of exploring exactly into that shadow aspect of where am I not seemingly coming into my power or my art to reflect that back to myself, my ability to self-reflect, and to come to realize I am always getting what I want every second of every day, one way or the other. If it's just like I'm browsing eBay or Temu or whatever, and I look at all kinds of things like I don't look into them. I browse, but I don't have any active like, ooh, like I don't want that, and I'm not going to invest any energy and I'm not going to write to Temu and say take that product off. It triggers me. You know what I mean? It's like nah, yes, nah, yes. No, maybe, yes, no. I don't like go on the whole day like, oh, I found this product that I really don't want. I do not want this thing. I just don't want this product. Please, Tatiana, don't order it. Don't click on buy. You know what I mean? But in my life, clearly somewhere, like there are things that I want and they're not happening. I'm not giving them to myself. I'm not having the permission or whatever it is, and to self-reflect, to understand what is that, what is it that I want, that I'm getting, that is more important to some part of me, my nervous system, my conditioning, than getting what I want. What danger am I assuming is there in the thing that I think that I want? Or do I think I want something that is actually, my intuition is actually smarter than me saying that isn't for you? You think you want it, and in which case I might want to reflect, why do I think I want that? Or maybe I'm getting just about as much of it as I want, or as is good for me, and as I actually want, but some thing in me says, no, you gotta have more of it, because otherwise you don't have enough of something, or I don't know, or you're not a good person, or you're not following the prescribed path, or you're not, whatever the case may be, a million different reasons, right? So that's, our ability to self-reflect, at least, yeah. And sometimes there's a limit to self-reflection, so it's very helpful to have some trusted people to talk to who can reflect back. And then I wish for all of everybody out there not to be as pussyfooty sensitive as I am. Oh my goodness. Like, if I have even the slightest notion that you don't understand me, I'm really sensitive to advice or criticism, because, like, but you don't have the full picture. Not that anyone has the full picture, but... And then I try to teach my boyfriend this, like, okay, I can't take the criticism, I can't take the input, but it needs to come possibly in the form of a question. I can handle a question. Could it be that? Might it serve you that? Could it be that you are mistaking this? Could it be that you have a view of this that is a little off-center, or what? That to me is non-violent and much more comfortable, much easier to take. And it's not that I need you to tailor-make yourself around me, because I'm, but if I notice, like, I'm not taking what you're saying, because I'm just rejecting what you're saying, because I'm assuming you're missing a vital part of, or you're not hearing me, or you're not being present with what's going on with me. You're just assuming out of your own position of whatever, or from behind your own filter. Then the reflection, then the whole process doesn't work. And I do well to try to remember this myself. I do this myself, of course. I sometimes don't ask. I assume I know, and then I give it. And then I would like someone to tell me, I cannot take this from you like that, or I can, or I can't, or could you, whatever, or just to remind myself, is there a way to be gentler? Is there a way to be softer? Am I soft enough? Do I have a right to even say what I'm about to say? And how do we know it's our intuition? Rhythmic night. In this wave spell. In my own wave spell, yellow sun, night is self-existing. Which, am I speaking to somebody from the perspective of the mirror, or from the perspective of the sun? Are they listening to me from the perspective of the mirror or perspective of the sun? If they're listening to me from the perspective of the mirror, it's good to remember my perspective, your perspective, my perspective, your perspective. If we're talking from the perspective of the sun, there's only one perspective, light. So it's all the same light. It's only one sun. There's the same, that's universal. That's a universal truth you can speak from, if you know how to. If I know how to. What else do we have here? We have the blue night here in the occult, which means the occult wave spell it ends with cosmic night underneath this mirror. Intuition, abundance, dream time. To the degree that we can open our perception, we can see the full abundance of life reflected back to us every second of every day, no matter what. Even if we're in solitary confinement, you can have complete sense of abundance reflected back to you. And if we don't, and boy, then there's an abundance of lack too. Okay, well, anyway, what is this cosmic night? Cosmic night. Has to go this way around. So there's night, hand, monkey. Monkey is the wave spell of the blue monkey. Ends in the cosmic night, and now we're entering the 7th column. In 13 days, the entire polarity, we're having a pole shift between the seen and the unseen. So in 13 days, we have the cosmic dog and underneath it the magnetic monkey. And then the next day, we're switching, pole shifting, magnetic monkey, cosmic dog. And then the occult wave spells reverse back to the beginning, all the way back to the magnetic dragon, where we started 10 wave spells ago, 9 wave spells ago, where we started the spin. That magnetic dragon ends the spin in the occult. And that's, I love this. I love this. I love this. I love this. Okay, it's like, yeah, my limited third dimensional mind here can't really give words to this. And so we are this abundance, this night. So we have underneath this wave spell of order, endlessness, reflect, order, the wave spell of the monkey, magic, play, illusion. But somehow in reversed order. I still haven't figured out how to fully explain that. But it doesn't matter because it doesn't matter. And then we have the wave spell of the analog wave spell. Oi! Dragon, magnetic dragon. But it's not the dragon wave spell, because the dragon wave spell goes counterclockwise around the circle, as all the wave spells go counterclockwise. Goes from dragon to wind to night, that way around. This analog wave spell goes from dragon to sun to storm. And we have a lot of sun always around these parts of the world, because tomorrow is a storm, lunar storm. The analog is the yellow sun. Then we are the electric sun in 3 days on tone 3, energizing this order through bliss, energizing in a storm's order generation. Catalyze energy. What catalyzes energy? And the energy coming from life force, from universal fire, from life itself, catalyzing. Life catalyzes itself. This relationship between sun and storm is just so awesome. And here we are, endlessness, reflect, order. Life auto-generates itself. And the human has this incredible capacity to not only observe the divine consciously, to be conscious of the divine. Whatever the divine is everything. The human has this ability to consciously polarize. Free will. For the longest time I used to think, why would there be worlds without free will? Why would it be any good to not have free will? Why is it just a few of us that have this free will here? And now I'm coming to realize, this free will thing, it's a bloody cross to bear. It's a superpower that is so hard to handle. I don't know. I mean, it's a question of perspective. It isn't hard to handle at all, but it can be really, really hard to handle. Question of maturity, question of all kinds of things. Free will, the contingencies upon free will being a factor of benevolence to ourselves, never mind others. And the question is, how much can we really influence others? So how much are we the tool that they use? The way you speak to me depends on me. To fully realize that all of my life is a reflection of me. I go with that. I make no exception to that rule. None. The chair over there, the scarf on there, where my clothes are lying about in this room, the way anyone talks to me, any person I meet, they are not free to be in my life anything they want to be in terms of, I mean, strictly speaking, of course, I don't, manipulate them, I don't think, but they have to be, they are in my movie of my life. That's not, they cannot just do what they please in there when it comes to me. You know what I mean? When it comes to affecting me. So talking to me, for example, is directly relating to me, and it is my frequency that determines whichever frequency can be reflected. And there is a degree to which things can happen that I don't control, obviously, so that I can have newness in my experience that I can have completely new responses to. But there are some core frequencies beyond which I can't meet up. It's like the law of attraction, the law of resonance. There's just no way around that. That's a universal law. If I ask to meet a frequency that is completely different to my own, I don't know if it's possible. Maybe it is. Would I recognize it? Maybe. What would it cause? I have no idea. Maybe it happens all the time and I'm just not conscious enough of it, but by the law of resonance, it can't. Endlessness reflect order. That's the many worlds theory. Many multiverses, multi-universes, as many universes as there could be, there are. There's no limit to that. Anything that wants to happen can happen, does happen. And this analog wave spell of the red dragon is it walks with us the other way around. So it's the magnetic dragon, the lunar sun, the electric storm, and the self-existing mirror on the self-existing dragon. They meet there, this mirror, again, in the position of self-existing. So we are attracting today our birth being, nurturance, endlessness, reflect order. We are attracting that. We attract our own order. We are this attractive force, or the order itself is the attractive force and it attracts us. Magnets attract each other. The magnetic force attracts each other. Electromagnetism, in this case, is the polarity is given through the storm, the sun, and the moon, red moon, universal water flow, polarizing water, removing the water off of the earth into the sky, splitting or separating positrons and negatrons or whatever, negative electrons, positive electrons, whatever, all of that stuff. There's a whole polarization, stabilizing. When polarization, what was my quote? I have that. I took a screenshot of that. Gotta read that. I haven't said that in a long time. Cells make critical decisions regarding survival, death, and proliferation by interpreting environmental signals, nutrients, growth factors, toxins through complex internal signaling pathways. I did not want to read this one. In summary, no, that's transform versus transcend. Where was that one? Then it was perhaps over here. Did I not take a screenshot of that? Long, long time ago, I cannot remember. Yeah, da 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 da. Yeah, da 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 da. I didn't take a screenshot. Okay, we do without it. And then we have the electric. Mirror, storm, sun, the electric sun. So the electromagnet, the electric force bonding, activating. This wave spell is activated by life. Universal fire. And the analog storm, universal autogeneration. The same combination that is the challenging, stabilizing is also electrifying, but it's switched. And underneath that sun, in that switch, is the dragon on tone 11, liberating the activation, nurture, being, liberating, dissolving, freeing. Oh man. And then that dragon on self-existing 4 with the planetary sun and the self-existing mirror and the self-existing monkey giving form to our play, our illusion, our magic. Monkey and mirror meet in the dragon. The inner child creating the order. Do we have a human in this wave spell? No. In the antipodal wave spell, it's on tone 5, the human. Free will, influence, wisdom. It's just really important to always bear in mind, where is that relative to what? It's overtone, it's command, radiance, the command center of the star. In the analog wave spell, we have it. In the occult wave spell, what did I say? We're going from the monkey. Yeah, it's analog. Lunar. But we're only meeting it on tone 12 in this wave spell. Toward the end. In the occult. And then we become that wave spell. I love that. We really get to dive deep into that inner child and the order it creates. But first we observe the order in our lives. We observe what we live. What am I observing? My bones. My eye socket bones. My left is different to my right. Anyway, and then we have the center of this wave spell is the wind, blue, a white wind, spirit communicate, breath, the unseen forces. Mm-hmm. Observing the breath, the nature of a breath. How do we breathe? How are we breathing? How does our breathing affect us? So much to be known about that. And yet, you don't have to split the atom. You can if you want to. You can consciously consider learning to, spending time with our breaths. Or you don't have to. You can go, there's so many routes to go as a human. Free will. And it's amazing how each of us are choosing slightly different routes. Some are similar, some are same-ish, but none are identical. It's amazing. So this analog wave spell, by the time we come to tone 5, the wind is back to the earth, where we've come from yesterday, cosmic earth. But it'll then be overtone earth to this dragon, to this analog dragon wave spell. Going backwards. Synchronicities. Birth nurtures being, creates its own synchronicities, creates its own world, its own earth, and then we can synchronize with Gaia. Yeah. There's so many options. So many options just to enjoy being here. There's so many options. I observe sometimes people go to work and they're stressed at work. And I'm kind of like visiting different places of work. I'm helping here, doing something there. And I meet up with people who are there all the time. And then when they see me, I get the eye rolling. Not rolling eyes at me, but communicating to me that they're rolling eyes at the stress they're experiencing. And I'm starting to think like, okay, I've observed this for a while now. You come to work every day, how much of the stress that this is a stressful work, of course, but how much are you constantly being in this sense of, oh, what does that do to you? Maybe you even come to work in the morning thinking, oh, here's another day of this, like, oh, stress. That must be really unhealthy, I imagine. And not really fun. And now I've been observing this for a few years, and I see this young woman, I don't know how old she is now, probably in her 40s, early 40s, and the aches and pains are creeping in right now. It's possible to be in this environment and still enjoy, just play. And if you really, really can't, either change your attitude or change your job. One or the other. You can't be spending 8 hours a day in resentment. My goodness. What is your body going to reflect? The body too is reflecting the order of our minds and of our emotions. Anyway, here we go. This is going to be, I don't know what it's going to be. I'm looking forward to this wave spell. To continue the reflection of our lives through the musketeers, We're guided by the mirror. So today, attract, unify, purpose. What is the purpose? And what is the purpose of what? This wave spell, this day, reflectiveness, the white mirror seal. What is the purpose of the three musketeers attached to the mirror? What is the purpose of the wave spells running parallel? We can ask any of these questions. What's the purpose of your life? What is the purpose of life itself? What is the purpose of God? What is God's purpose? Does God have a purpose? Who created God? Only a mind can ask that question. A human mind. Ah. Okay. Wish us a beautiful wave spell. I wish us a beautiful day. Thank you if you made it to here, for listening, for joining your frequency to the earth. You're here by choice, I would assume. Do you think you're here by choice? Okay. I'll be back tomorrow. Aho.